The folks at LOFTEK have sent me a 15-watt rechargeable portable floodlight with USB charging abilities to evaluate, test, and to take apart. So let's do it. What we have here is a 15-watt rechargeable portable floodlight. So what it is, it's a 15-watt LED light. It's got a rechargeable battery. It's all metal. It's actually got some half decent weight to it, and I had to wait till it was dark so that I could shoot this video in the dark. Let's turn on this light and see what it does. The 11-watt LED gives off the equivalent light of a 60-watt incandescent lamp. It's got a very nice light to it. I'll point the camera around and we'll see how much light this thing throws off. It's actually a fair bit of light. So here's the old radio I've still got here. And as you can see, this throws a lot of light. And it's nice bright white light. Perfect for as a work light. I've got it here in the garage, and say I've got all the lights out in here completely. And as you can see, this gives a really nice bright work light. It also has an SOS feature. If you hold the button, it's got two brightness levels too. If I press the button, as you can see, it's off now. Press and hold the button to turn it on. Press it a second time and it goes to a lower power setting, and then a third time it goes off. But there's a second button which gives you a flashing red and blue light. This is called the SOS mode. So if you're broken down, I don't know if I'd want to use this if I was broken down though, because a flashing red and blue light kind of looks like a police car. So I don't know if I would want to be using that one, but hey, it has that feature that they call the SOS mode. And the blue is actually making things fluoresce. Anyway, that's basically it. Let's take a look at what the internal workings of this thing are. So I'm going to turn the rest of the lights back on in here. Inquiring minds want to know, so we're going to crack this thing open and see what's inside it. Before we do that, it's not just a light, it's also a portable power supply. So on the top here, a little rubber cap. You can plug your USB cord into here to charge it, and then you plug this into your standard USB charger. But on the other side, it has a USB output, so you can plug in the cord the opposite direction, and now you can charge up your phone or any other device that requires a USB cord. As you will see, it's showing that my phone is charging. This is actually, I think, a very cool product. You have this in your car, and if you break down, well, you've got a light. Again, I don't know that I would use the red and blue flashing light. That might grab unwanted attention, but it does have a nice bright flashlight, so that if you're stuck or you need to change a tire, for example, you can prop this thing up. It has a nice little stand, so you can prop it up, so if you're having to change a tire or work on your car, it has a clip, so you can clip it up onto your hood. Right, it has a nice big metal clip on the back here, and you can even hang it. So it's a very versatile light, I think. And but we want to see what's inside this thing. Now here's what it tells me in the back. It's 15 watts, and it has a 5-volt output of 2.1 amps. It uses a 6600 milliamp hour 3.7 volt battery, and it has 650 lumens. It takes 6 hours to charge, and it will run for between 4 and 7 hours. So I would imagine that's depending on whether you're on bright or lower power. That's the specifications. If we look at the specs here, "360-degree rotating holder." Yes, we figured that out. White light switch, SOS switch, LED indicator. So this is what they have to say about this. Okay, it's high compact aluminum and iron. It's silver, white, and black. That's the color. Power supply is DC 5 volts, 0.5 to 2 amps, so it'll charge on any type of charger. The output is 5 volts at up to 2.1 amps. The wattage is 15 watts. And here's how they figure that out. It's not a 15 watt white light, it's an 11 watt white light plus a 2 watt blue light and a 2 watt red light. 650 lumens in maximum brightness, 380 in power saving mode, and battery capacity 6600 milliamp hours. It's got 3 times 2200 milliamp hour cells in it. Working time about 4 hours in maximum brightness, and charging time 4.5 hours at 2 amps and about 6 hours at 1 amp. And there's an indicator on here. The LED on the top here will flash. It says when the battery is low, the light will flash red, and when you're charging it, it stays red and it turns green after it's fully charged. And when the batteries run down, it'll turn itself off. So it says it's got a 12-month warranty. We want to see what's inside this thing, so we're going to crack this thing open. The screws are going to be underneath these little rubber plugs, I would think, so we'll just pop them out. Yep, standard Phillips screws. Front face comes off. You can see this. It's actually got a rubber gasket on here, so it is, and it's got a glass in front or a piece of plastic in front with a gasket, so it is going to be somewhat weather resistant. Take out the reflector, and here's our battery pack on here. We'll just take a look at that battery pack and verify that it is what they say it is, although I don't think they're going to lie about it, but let's just see what it says on here. And here is the battery pack. It's 6600 milliamp hour, as it says here. So here's a look at the circuitry on here. Again, you've got your standard, I had this thing on, I was looking at it, I'm now seeing stars. And they say don't look at the lights, they mean it. It's not good for your eyes. Get our buck converter in here. This is for the boost, to boost from 3.7 to 5 volts for your USB. And on here, if you notice down here, it's got the white, the red, and the blue wires connected on here. I probably would recommend, if you have one of these things, I would disconnect the blue light, so that for the emergency light, it would just be a flashing red light as opposed to flashing red and blue, because I have a feeling that the police might have something to say about you using a light that flashes red and blue and kind of looks like a police car, if you know what I mean. If you're using one for an emergency beacon, for example, if you're broke down at the side of the road, you'd want to have just a flashing red light, not one that's flashing alternately red and blue, depending on your jurisdiction. So that might be a worthwhile investment to just cut the blue wire, but you're on your own. The LED drivers, the plug that plugs into the LED module, and the battery. There's not much in here to see. It does what it says, and we're going to take this thing outside, and I'm going to take the camera outside, and we'll just we'll play around with it a bit. So I'm just going to cut the wire that's going to blue, so that when I press the SOS button, it's just going to do that. Okay, I guess you guys didn't see me cut the wire. I was off camera frame anyway. We'll just cut this wire here so that the blue light is disabled, so that in SOS mode it's just going to be a blinking red light, which I think will alleviate any legality issues in using it outside, especially if you were using it if you were broken down at the side of the road, for example, and you wanted to alert people that your car was stopped on the side of the road. Again, I myself would not want to have a red and blue flashing light in my possession, just so that I'm just concerned about legal issues that may happen in some jurisdictions. So I just disabled that. This thing is really solidly made. Okay, let's just take this and see how it performs. So as you can see, it provides more than enough light if you have to change your tire in the dark. You can set that on the side of the road beside you. You can see exactly what you're doing in the dark. I'm now down the side of my property where it is completely pitch black. You can use this as a flashlight. See right into the area. You can use it as a camp light. Will work great. That light is throwing a good 40-50 feet into my backyard. And that's on the bright setting. I'll turn it down to the dim setting now. Where's the button? There's the dimmer setting. So not much of a difference. I'll turn it off. Turn it back on. There's the brighter setting. There's the dimmer setting. Dimmer setting will run for about 7 hours. So you can have this set up anywhere you need portable light. You can hang it as you can see, it's got a little hanger on it, so you can actually hang it up, and you can also use it to power up your cell phone or other devices. Now here's what it looks like now that I've changed it from the flashing red and blue to just the flashing red. I think that is probably a better way to attract attention. If you're broken down at the side of the road, you can put that in your back window or put that on the road behind your car as opposed to it flashing red and blue. But hey, this thing is more than bright enough for anything you would need a portable work light for. This is more than bright enough. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the LOFTEK 15-watt rechargeable floodlight with USB charging capabilities. Looks to be a really well-built product. Thanks for watching.